Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam NewsMan, and this is Christmas Eve. And this is Saturday morning. (804-289-UR90), 804-289-8790. Yes, that's right. Merry Christmas to everyone out there. Yes, it is a holiday season, and we are here broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. Once again, 90.1 FM. And yes, here I am, the most trusted puppet in media, doing what I was born to do, and that is be here even on a Christmas Eve. So I hope everyone out there is having a wonderful holiday season. And yes, of course, we are doing things a little bit different this morning. In fact, we already have the phone lines up and ready to go. 804-289-UR90. 804-289-8790. I want to ask everyone out there what their favorite Christmas toy was. Every holiday. Of course, holidays happen every year. But I do know that everyone out there does have a favorite Christmas memory. You remember when you would run down the stairs and you would see all of those presents underneath the tree, and you really didn't know exactly where to start. You didn't know where to start, which gift you would start with first. And if you had a mom and a dad, a lot of times what they would do is they would start to direct you. They would direct you to which present they may want you to open up first. Now, of course, if you had something like a bicycle, all of a sudden out of nowhere, you would just see that and you'd probably just run over to the bicycle. Mom and dad would say, hold on, wait a minute. You have all these other gifts. Why don't you open those up? But, of course, mom and dad couldn't wrap up the bicycle. They just put a bow on it. So, but that's what we're here doing this morning. We're asking everyone to call into the show. Let us know exactly what your favorite Christmas memory was, what favorite toy that you had growing up. And that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to discuss about. Once again, 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. Merry Christmas to everybody. See a lot of people in the chat already. Captain to Michael, Merry Christmas to you, sir. Toy Mercs. Are you a Toy Merc? We are all Toy Mercs. That is the reality. We are all Toy Mercs. So shout out to Toy Mercs. Go follow Toy Mercs as well. Some other people, of course, in the chat. Triple D. And we're here broadcasting live on two different mediums here. We have the YouTube cam. The Sam cams are up and live. Sam cams are up live as well. T-Rodimus Prime, Merry Christmas to you, sir. We're here on the Sam Cam here on Instagram. So if you're here on Instagram, we're here at Sam Newsman on Instagram. At Sam Newsman on Instagram. And we are Sam Newsman here on YouTube as well. Once again, 804-289-UR90. 804-289-8790. And, it was interesting this morning when I came into the station, the door mechanism was locked. Well, it wasn't locked because so there's several different ways to get in. Well, I mean, there's several doors to get in, but I had to go to the police station and had them come and unlock the door because the mechanism in the door has frozen. Of course, there's been a huge cold front that has been coming across the entire country. And here in Richmond, it was about 6-7 degrees this morning. When we arrived here at the station, so cold that the mechanism to get inside the station was frozen solid. So the code didn't work at all. But thankfully, the campus police came by and they saved the day. They unlocked the door, and the other mechanism on the other door worked just fine. So we are up and running per usual. You probably heard at the beginning we had How the Grinch Stole Christmas after, of course, I read the poem, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And it is the night before Christmas. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, let's see here. Hold on, wait. I had a whole bunch of stuff here. Hold on. Wait a minute. Blah 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 blah. Ha ha ha. All right. So hold on. There we go. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. Well, of course, every Saturday morning, what I do is I do go down and pick up the newspaper. Shout out to Dead Man One. Shout out to Dead Man One. Puppets 1, 2, 3 as well. Merry Christmas to everyone out there. Once again, this is our annual Christmas holiday show. Now, of course, here I am. I am broadcasting live here on Instagram, and I'm also broadcasting live here on YouTube. But one of the things that you need to do is that you need to go and download the Simple Radio app. Yes, download the Simple Radio app. Go to your app store, wherever you download apps. Download the Simple Radio app. And when you download the Simple Radio app, what you need to do is you need to search WDCE. Yeah, search WDCE. Shout out to Mark. See you down there as well. Big M, MC DJ over here. But yes, download the Simple Radio app. Search WDCE. And you'll be able to listen to the live radio feed. Now, of course, what's going to happen is in a few moments, I'll be cutting in and out of this and over here. And you won't be able to see me. However, there will still be music going on as well. Shout out to Kenzo as well. Kenzo's Collections down there in the Instagram. So this is a live interactive show. Live interactive show. And of course, one of the things that I was asking, of course, you can call into the show. You can call into the show 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. I believe we already had someone call in just a few moments ago, but the phone lines were not active just yet. But they are active now. So if you would like to call in, want to hear what your favorite Christmas toy was growing up. Also want to hear what your favorite Christmas special. Do you have a favorite Christmas special that you like to watch every single year? I was talking to someone the other day. They said Bing Crosby's White Christmas. That was a popular one. Of course, there's Charlie Brown. Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation, a very popular film that a lot of people watch this holiday season. Home Alone as well is another one that a lot of people are into. But once again, so don't be scared. Don't be scared. We are here. And of course, I'm not here to berate anybody here this morning. No, this is a holiday special, holiday show, Christmas special 2022. Now, of course, while I was saying that I did go pick up a let's see here. What was it? Hold on, let me see here. Now the camera's all messed up. There we go. Let's see here. Haha. So yes, I did go and pick up a few things. One of them being the newspaper. Let's see here. There we go. Haha. You're doing all this stuff around here. What are you guys laughing at behind the counter over there? I mean, behind the glass. It is Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you all over there. Shout out to Skyfall. Skyfall, of course, joining in on YouTube. But yes, I want to ask everybody, Delmas Dugan, I want to ask everybody what your favorite Christmas gift was growing up as a child. That'd be something that you'd want to call in and let us know. If you're too scared to call, which I completely understand, if you're not used to being on broadcast radio, if you're not used to being on broadcast radio, because you will be on broadcast radio. So if you were driving down the road here in Richmond, Virginia, all of a sudden you would turn on the radio and you would hear my beautiful puppet voice. Of course, then you're asking, well, Sam, how can I see you? Once again, I said you can see me at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman over here on YouTube. And Dead Man said the Atari. The Atari was his favorite gift that he remembers growing up. Now the question is what was your favorite game? What was your favorite game? Your favorite game for the Atari? I was always a Frogger guy myself. I preferred Frogger. Now, if you end up saying E.T., well, then we might have some problems. Whoa, let's see here. I'm trying to get everything, of course, situated. There we go. There's a couple of cameras over here. But the Atari, someone toying around 77 says G1 Optimus Prime. So Jason Lee says he almost got crushed by his Atari 2600. And thank you, of course, Duchess. Thank you, of course. Journey's Escape is what Dead Man says. Journey's Escape was his favorite game. Once again, like I said, I was a Frogger guy myself. Big fan of Frogger. So if you do have a favorite toy that you had growing up, played a heck of a lot of Pitfall. Jason Lee says Pitfall. Pitfall is a great game. Pitfall was a great game as well. Uh, I was a big fan of Nintendo. Nintendo was always one of my favorites. 1985, October 18th, 1985. That was my producer's birthday. Ended up being 3 over there, right? Right. So, but yeah, so was always a big fan of Nintendo. Of course, being a Nintendo fan, people always think and go to Mario Brothers. You remember those games back in the day? They were really hard. This is before Game Genie came around. Before Game Genie came around, you ended up only having 3 lives. You had 3 lives and no continues. Yeah, 3 lives and no continues. And one of the things that I always let people know is that, well, the truth of the matter is that I could care less about the princess or saving the princess. It really wasn't on my agenda. What was on my agenda was beating Dr. Wily and the 6 master robots. Yeah, that would be Mega Man 1. Mega Man 1. Now, not Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 ended up having a password. So you could sit there and cheat. You could sit there and figure out the password and then jump ahead and blah, 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 blah. But it's funny. Jinx on both of you. So MC DJ said Contra was my favorite in Nintendo here on YouTube. Just at the same time that Jason Lee over here on Instagram said useless. The Konami code: up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, BA, start. Unless you had a co-player, you were playing together. It was up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start. It was select, start. That way, of course, if you're playing with 2 people, you have to hit select, then start. And then you have 30 lives. But yes, Mega Man 1 was always my favorite. Once again, no codes. No codes as well. Ash Bailey says that Mega Man 1 was impossible until I happened to come across a cheat. Game Genie. Game Genie. Yes, Mega Man 1 was tough. It separates the men from the boys. Like I said, everybody always wants to sit there and give credit to Mega Man 2. I mean, Mega Man 2 was great. It's got a good soundtrack as well. But Mega Man 1 is where it's at. And, I'd beat Dr. Wily before I ever saved the princess. I had to beat those robots before I went going around, jumping around on mushrooms. So Metroid on the NES. Metroid was a great game, too. You're always getting lost in Metroid. Not sure where the heck you're going. You're going from one room to another, and then you have to backtrack and go around here and go to another place. But it was fun. It was fun. Like I said, a big fan of Metroid. But like I said, it is Christmas Eve. Hope everyone out there is doing well. I did get the newspaper today. Got the newspaper. Let's see here. Let's see. If you have it up here in front of you. Of course, the Richmond Times-Dispatch. And what it says is Christmas traditions. Christmas traditions. Are you familiar with Christmas traditions? Read a couple of Christmas traditions here as we wait for somebody to call in to let us know something. Excite Bike was really fun too. I was a big fan of Excite Bike because you could make your own tracks. Making your own tracks in Excite Bike was really fun. Let's see. The only hope that we had was the Nintendo Power Maps. There was the Power Maps. There was also Nintendo Power, and there was also the player helpline. You remember getting stuck somewhere? You have to call that 900 number. Remember to get your parents' permission before you call in, as you're stuck there in a video game. Yes, Nintendo Power was clutch. It was clutch. Once again, so just keep on sending me your favorite Christmas gifts down in the chats. Once again, at Sam Newsman on Instagram over here, at Sam Newsman here on YouTube. Let's see here. But yes, it is the origins of Christmas traditions. So we'll read a couple of these Christmas traditions here as we wait for the phone lines. Like I said, the phone lines are open. 804-289-UR90. 804-289-8790. Once again, download the Simple Radio app, and you'll be able to listen to the show as we are moving along here. But before we get into some more Christmas magic over here, one of the things I like to do is talk about Christmas carols. Carols, Christmas. Are you familiar with Christmas carols? where they all started from. Christmas carols initially weren't associated with Christmas, but in the 12th and 13th centuries, they took on a religious connotation. Singing and visiting neighbors' homes first emerged in England, and Christmas caroling began around the 19th century. Yep, yep. Shout out to Estray Blue. In 1833, Christmas carols, ancient and modern, published in London by William B. Sandys, was the first to print "God rest ye merry gentlemen. Let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we have gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Caller, you are live here on WDCE 90.1 FM. Merry Christmas Eve. State your name and where are you calling from?
Merry Christmas. It's a German. Sam.
Yeah, well,
Sam Newsman.
Well, so I'm here. Germ's over there behind the glass somewhere, trying to push the buttons. Hopefully, he won't mess up. So he hasn't done too bad of a job this morning already. Although oh, it sounds like the kiddies are already having fun back there. Are they already opening up their presents? What's going on?
Little Junior is ready to party tomorrow. He said Nana or Santa, whatever he calls him, ho ho ho. So we'll be getting ready tonight for him to come. We're leaving carrots and cookies out for Santa and his reindeer.
Well, that's really good. Yeah. Oh, that's it is very nice of you to leave the carrots for the reindeer. First I was, yeah, well, yeah, because I don't think that. Well, I mean, I'm sure that the reindeer will like the cookies as well, right? I mean,
That's right.
now, what type of milk are you giving Santa? Because last week I was talking to Santa over on Skydrow Walk. Familiar with Skydrow Walker? Anyways, if you're at Skydrow Walker on Instagram, save 15% when you use the code Skydrow at extremesets.com. I was with Skydrow the other day after the show here in the station, and Santa popped in live. But Santa himself said that he prefers 1% because if you give him skim milk, I mean, all that is really just watered, colored water with a little bit of white in it. I'm not sure exactly what that white is, but yeah. So he prefers 1%, trying to lose some weight here. Santa is, and speaking of Santa, do you know that last night, NORAD, the NORAD Santa tracker is up. It is up live. Yeah. So the NORAD tracker is up live. If you go to YouTube and you just type in NORAD Santa tracker, it is up and running. And that's what casuals down in that right. Casual said he Santa chocolate milk. Oh, well, a whole chocolate milk. What kind of milk do you leave Santa?
We probably just gonna leave him good old Kroger gallon.
What
we got from Kroger.
Well, yeah, but what is it though? Is it whole milk? Is it?
Whole milk.
It's whole milk.
I got a 2-year-old running around here.
Oh man, that's funny. That's great.
Sam, I really wanted to share Christmas memory.
Yeah, go ahead.
We all grew up during that awesome time where every great 80s cartoon had a great 80s toy line.
Right, correct.
They were all based on the awesome toy lines we had.
Correct.
I do remember getting the Mask playset once. But what I wanted to talk about was when your parents would, I grew up with my grandpa, so, I'll never forget, snooping around for presents, seeing the side of the NES in the closet.
And it didn't.
I think I saw it once at someone's house, and I saw Zelda, but, what's funny is seeing Zelda there, and then when I actually played it, it seemed like different memories, it seemed so much cooler when I saw it than when I would play it, But anyway, I specifically remember snooping around and seeing you remember there was a Rambo cartoon back then.
Yes, I remember the Rambo card. There was also a toy line as well.
Right. Side note, there is a Rambo Christmas special where weapons manufacturer. True story. It's a Santa Claus Rambo episode. But anyway, I remember seeing like a gun and some like weapon pack or something, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get some cool Rambo stuff. Christmas came, I opened all this stuff up, and I never found any of this Rambo. And so, it turns out they weren't allowed to give it to me. I wasn't allowed to have this Rambo. I don't know why it was around. I feel like I got it like a year or two later or something. But I always remember there's just some plastic knives, some plastic grenades, a crappy plastic belt, and a machine gun that made a bunch of noise. But I just always laughed because I wasn't allowed to have that. I wasn't really sure why. I turned out all right, I guess. But anyway, just wanted to share that memory. We should take some more phone calls. I'm going to get off of here.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. Before you go, need to ask you one more question. What was your favorite Christmas special growing up as a kid?
Oh, man, I have a soft spot for not the girlfriends, but the glow friends save Christmas. There's a moose in that. You should be really into the moose that helps save Santa.
Yes. The Glow Friends Christmas.
But man, nothing ever beats that 1 hour ABC, CBS, Garfield Christmas going into the Claymation Christmas.
1987. 1987. Yes, 19.
Oh my God, that was like the most amazing night of my life. Like, I'll never forget it. You couldn't find it for years until like torrenting and the internet came around, and you were like, oh my God, I knew I wasn't dreaming.
It's all real. It's real. There was a Garfield Christmas and a Claymation Christmas with California raisins.
So anyway, those are some Christmas special jewels. But thank you so much, Sam. We need to take some more phone calls. And hopefully General Shu doesn't fire you today.
No firing on Christmas. No. Maybe next week. That's probably it. But anyways, you have a great Merry Christmas to you and your family, Junior, and all of you guys down there, and make sure you're safe as well. Yeah. The new F word, 40. That's you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. That was Crazy Toys. Crazy Toys. Turning 40 this week. Turning 40. This had a birthday. Also casual in the chat. Myasia had a birthday yesterday, too. Which I just saw a few moments ago. Dead Man over there saying, "Hey, he leaves Santa scotch." And then someone else was saying that they leave Santa lactose-free milk. So Santa's getting chocolate whole milk. He's getting 2%. He's getting 1%. Nobody's giving him skim milk. Somebody said that almond milk is something that he doesn't want to have. And here we have, of course, Dead Man leaving him the scotch. Of course, now Dead Man's saying, who's he kidding? He doesn't leave him scotch. No, the scotch is for Dead Man himself. Santa loves the cookies in the box. Well, that's one of the things I forgot to ask Santa last week. Does Santa prefer the crunchy cookies or the chewy cookies? Well, wait a minute. I think I did ask him. I think he said chewy cookies, if I'm not mistaken. Nico Tronis says that G1 Optimus Prime was his favorite too. The Star Wars Christmas special on TV, something that Ash Bailey here just mentioned as well. But once again, like I said, we were talking a few moments here about Christmas carols. And once again, 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. It was 1833, Christmas Carols, Ancient and Modern, published in London by William B. Sandys. God rest ye merry gentlemen. Another one, oh yes. The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay. Oh yeah. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. These are all different songs that were in that 1933 Christmas Carols, Ancient and Modern, published by William B. Sandys. Once again, 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. See Roundhead over there in the Instagram chat. We are broadcasting live on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Instagram. At Sam Newsman here on YouTube. Thank you, Duchess. Thank you, Duchess of Dark. Are you following Duchess of Darkness? Duchess of Darkness. Make sure you follow and subscribe to her here on YouTube. A lot of great stories. Just make sure that you keep the lights on. If you turn the lights off, you might freak yourself out. Don't want to be freaked out here on Christmas. Don't want to be freaked out. Krampus is around too. Yeah, Krampus is real, just like Santa is real. It's the naughty kids that Krampus ends up showing up for. Yeah, you thought that the naughty kids just got a stocking full of coal. It's not just a stocking full of coal. No, Krampus comes around and whacks you with his sticks. So, but once again, Merry Christmas, everybody. Toy Cartel, see Toy Cartel down there. Tony D. Humphreys as well. Cartel. Oh my goodness. But here we are once again. Christmas trees. The Christmas tree tradition we know today began in Germany in the 16th century. During this time, Christians brought decorated trees into their homes. The first record of a tree being on display in the U.S. was in the 1830s. In 1846, Queen Victoria was sketched with her family around a Christmas tree. And because of her popularity, it became fashionable, not only in Britain, but also in the US. By the early 20th century, having a Christmas tree was an American tradition. Once again, we do have a couple of other Christmas, Christmas traditions. Like I said, that's what I was, and it's interesting because I almost did not go and get the paper. But something in me just said, I think there might have a thing inside the paper that talks about Christmas traditions. And sure enough, they did. Shout out to Cato's Collection. Make sure you're following Cato's Collection here on YouTube as well. Another thing here. Oh, yes, Santa Claus. The origin of Santa Claus can be traced back hundreds of years to a Greek bishop, Saint Nicholas. It is said that he gave away all of his wealth and traveled throughout the country to help the poor and the sick. Over the years, St. Nicholas became the most popular saint in Europe. St. Nicholas began to make his way into American pop culture during the late 1700s. In 1822, Clement Clark Moore wrote a poem called A Visit from St. Nicholas, more commonly known as The Night Before Christmas, which created the American icon who flies in a sleigh, leaving presents for children. That's in 1822. We'll be doing a reading of The Night Before Christmas. We did one before we even started. But Sam, we are the only ones working today. That's right. Yes, we are working. Yes, setting the standard, raising the bar. I was playing earlier, Scrooge talking, and he says, "It's just another work day. It's just another work day. Bah, humbug." So, but the classic, the Peanuts Christmas Peanuts. Yes, that's another one. Duchess Darkness says that I love the year without a Santa Claus, with the snow heat fire misers. That's a good one too. That is a good one. Stockings. You're familiar with stockings? A lot of times people just open up the gifts. There's stockings though too. Stockings have been an essential part of the Christmas tradition for centuries. Moore included in his poem that St. Nicholas filled all the stockings. So a lot of these things come from The Night Before Christmas. So a lot of these popular things. Once again, the Night Before Christmas being published in 1822. The most popular legend about why stockings are hung is that a widowed father of 3 girls was having a tough time making ends meet. While wandering through the town, St. Nicholas heard of the family's situation. He wanted to help, but knew the man would refuse direct charity. So one night, he slid down the family's chimney and filled the girls' stockings, which were drying by the fire, with gold coins. So yeah. So that's where the stockings come from. A lot of other different traditions. We do have candy canes, gift giving, Christmas bells, eggnog, Christmas plants. Once again, 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. Once again, put in the chat if you're not willing to call, because you might be scared to call and talk to me on the radio, which I completely understand. But you can. We want to know exactly what your favorite Christmas memory was or is. Also, your favorite Christmas special as well. You can put that down here in the chat at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman over here on YouTube. So it is 9:38 here on the 24th day of December in the year 2022. We're going to pause it here, I believe, here now just for a moment. We'll leave the phone lines open up just for another 30 seconds. But once again, call in if you can. 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790 to be a part of today's Christmas Special 2022. And we'll get you here live on air. Like I said, you might be a little bit nervous to get on air, but you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. But one of the good things that we do talk about week to week, not just here on Christmas, is also toys. We talk about toys, and there was many kingdoms back in the day, prior to the fall of these kingdoms, several years ago. Kingdoms of the golden giraffe. Kingdoms of the golden giraffe. And the kingdoms of the golden giraffe, even though they fell several years ago, they hold a lot of magic and memories. A lot of people out there. So one of the things that I like to do here is we'll be back here in just a few moments, but we want to play some good old fashioned Kingdom of the Golden Giraffe. Kingdom of the Golden Giraffe bits. But how do you hear those bits? That's the question. How do you hear them? You need to download the Simple Radio app. So if you have not done that, I'll give you just a moment to do that right now. Download the Simple Radio app. Download the Simple Radio app. Search WDCE on the Simple Radio app. Shout out to Anime Figure Statue Collector. But Cato says any of the Rankin and Bass specials. Absolutely. Any of the Rankin and Bass. Of course, my favorite is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, if I had to say any of them, or at least of the Rankin and Bass ones. Not a lot of people familiar with the Rankin and Bass 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. But hold on to your horses. Hold on to your horses. Cato says he's listening on the Simple Radio app. So go to your app store, download the Simple Radio app, search WDCE, and you can listen to the show live while we are here. And the segments that you can't see when I'm here on Instagram and also on YouTube. But I will be back. I'll be back here on Instagram and on YouTube. So make sure you keep and set your notifications. Hit that like button. That just helps out a little bit. Tell all your friends that we are here on Christmas Eve, having a Christmas Eve celebration. Things are a little bit different this morning. A little bit different because it is Christmas. So it's not the normal cartoon themes that we normally play. That's what we do. Is we play cartoon themes here on Saturday morning. But being that it is Christmas Eve, we're going to play some specials. So we'll be back here in just a few moments. The traditional animated Rankin and Bass one. See, Cato knows what's up. See, Cato knows the deal. But anyways, write down the phone number, 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. We're going to play a few things. Download the Simple Radio app, search WDCE, and like I said, we'll be back here in just a few moments. Keep it tuned here, and we'll be back. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond, you're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman. This is Christmas Eve, and this is Saturday morning.
It's that wonderful season we all find so reason. The Toys R Us time of year. It's toys R Us. The biggest selection at the Toys R Us. It's the Toys R Us time of year.